Hello, everybody. Anyone? I'm Christ Wood. Just down here for a few minutes. I am a 5-year revenge retaliation full identity theft victim from Lennox and Addington, Ontario provincial police, from serious criminal doctors who were involved, and from their accomplices. 5 years of injuring, torturing, medical blacklisting, kidnapping, sex assaults, false arrest refusals, extortions, kidnapping, file falsifying, treatment refusals, injuring, torturing, body mutilations, stalking, trafficked, made homeless, complete full physical identity theft, lung and kidney damage, attempted murder, revenge retaliation victim for speaking of O.p.p crimes since 2019. I was shot by something by ex-O.p.p chief before he left Napanee 2019, drove a white Jeep Wrangler on the corner of Bridge and Center Street. Stalking by their accomplices. O.p.p human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, torture crimes, injuring. My mother was stalked and killed through Bill Wooldridge, a guy known as Bill Wooldridge, alias name, goes by Bill Wooldridge, Bill Cooldridge, Robert Cross, James Bubbles, Stephen Mavis, thinks that he and I were switched at birth and believes that he is my dad. Guilty of criminally stalking my mother and causing her death December 20th, 2020. Blair Frederick Hardy, guilty of torture crimes, stalking, financial thefts and frauds. He's guilty of rapes, meth trafficking, torture crimes, identity theft. He is an obsessed homosexual. He's guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Jason Gimpy Vinalstein, two-step Vinalstein, is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity, disability, and insurance fraud. He's guilty of attempted homicide, drug lacing, crackhead, lowlife inbred, Tyler T. Bag Lake. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog in 2023, sorry. He is guilty of torture crimes on me, being involved with my identity theft. He's guilty of attempted homicide. Bert the Hitman Hustler, guilty of torture crimes, guilty of attempted homicide. He is a sex slave trafficker, truck driver, and a possible serial killer. Dale Harwick, guilty of attempted homicide with intent to commit on me. He is guilty of torture crimes. He is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit for drop charges for a crime he committed. And now a rat informant working with him for O.p.p is an accomplice. His boyfriend or girlfriend, husband, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, is guilty of torture crimes, guilty of sex assaults, guilty of attempted paralyzing, guilty of attempted homicide. O.p.p accomplices: Spencer Mills, 14716, whether with O.p.p in Napanee or not, still guilty of attempted homicide, torture crimes. Robert Kane, as I'm doing this right now, I'm having serious hard time thinking. I am seriously numbed on the right side of my head, and it feels like I'm getting air blowing through me on the full right side of my head. There's Robert Kane, 7224, Shannon Cork, Dave Weiss, Constable Ward, Robert Lucas, Stacy, a mental health worker that was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, and Shelley Hafner had me kidnapped May 27, 2021, under false pretenses 24 hours after me asking for help with what has taken place with me, provably while being medically blacklisted, while being labeled and accused of a lot of things that is certainly not true, and nobody has to answer for them. I spoke O.p.p crimes. I became a target. As I said, I was shot by ex-O.p.p chief or commander year 2019 by something, and it began on me. I started having problems. I went to the hospital. I finally got an appointment for a CAT scan that year in November. I went to my CAT scan appointment, and before I showed up, or when I showed up there, the one known as Stacy from mental health, that's now Kingston AMHS, was there. Apparently saying she was there for me, for anxiety, for all of this other shit. I had no association with her in any way, shape, or form, and she had no reason to be there, casting her bullshit lies. I got my CAT scan done. I said I wanted to see the results, pictures, and everything else. I was refused. I was told I needed medication. I was pretty much medically blacklisted after that. I was having a lot of problems. I was going to different hospitals, and conveniently they were getting phone calls stating lies against me, stating about me being a suicidal self-harmer one time. Certainly not true in any way, shape, or form. I'm about life, and I sure the fuck am not about harming myself or anyone else. 100% bullshit lie, but I had long hair and I have tattoos, so it was believed, whoever it came from, so to prevent me help and proof. Another time about drugs that I do not do. I smoke marijuana, but I do not do drugs. I am against them, and everybody knows me, knows I'm against them. I've lost too many friends and family, and I myself have overdosed from them. So I haven't done any since 2013. Lies about long criminal record and history that I certainly do not have in any way, shape, or form. Nothing, until I was falsely charged by the hospital to prevent me help to cover up crimes that they are guilty of. Lies about long psychological record and history certainly do not have. It's not true in any way, shape, or form. Never been associated with any of that. Treatment refusals, name calling, file falsifying, medical blacklisted, and being falsely charged to prevent anything legal on criminal doctors for crimes that they are guilty of and co-committing with and for O.p.p and their accomplices, and have been for 5 years. Being called retarded, laughs in my face over being sex assaulted, then trying to have me committed for having it happen to me, being stalked, being seriously tortured and deformed with 100% proof and not being able to do anything about it. My medical rights, my legal rights, my human rights have been taken from me. I go through this on a daily basis, serious deforming on a daily basis. I have shown it. I have proven it. And the only crime I've committed is me speaking of O.p.p crimes, being falsely arrested when when people are disappearing. It is through the police, it is through criminal doctors, and it is through their accomplices. Getting people medically blacklisted, tortured, falsely locked up to cover crimes that they are guilty of. Frauds, forgeries, framings, falsely arresting for pictures and signatures, then turning their crimes around on their victims to blame them for what is happening to get away with them in an attempt to get out of criminal civil lawsuits in attempts to get away with the crimes that they are guilty of, but that's a given because they have their badge, and no cop is accountable for any crimes that they ever commit. Only they get paid vacations, go into O.p.p, being surrounded, hands on guns, to try to get arrests, being seriously fucking brain injured. All by Jason Van Alstyne, by Tyler Lake, by Dale Hartwick, by Blair Hardy, by Tony Hearns, and by the rest of these O.p.p drug-fed, money-paid, untouchable pieces of shit in Napanee, Ontario, who are accomplices, sex slave traffickers, sex offenders, drug traffickers, drug addicts. And this is ex-inmates, ex-psych patients, i.e. the one known as Bill Woldridge. He goes by Stephen Mavis, and that Stephen Mavis is an alleged inmate escapee walkaway, and that's one of the alias names this dude uses. Lives at 149 Center Street North. He started stalking me after I was shot by the ex-O.p.p chief, and the reason that happened was because of me speaking of the homeless trafficking and the homeless exploitation for monetary gain that was possibly taking place through the Morning Star mission. And then I got visits from Spencer Mills and a mental health worker telling me that if I did not stop talking about what was taking place, there'd be serious consequences, and he was right. Then the other crimes against me. When people are disappearing, it is through the police. It is through criminal doctors who are aiding them and helping cover up their crimes. And they're fucking untouchable accomplices. My skull has been seriously, a lot of my skull has been taken from me, burned out of my head. I have what looks like tubes from my chest, coming up from my chest now, no surgeries either. Sticks right out of my throat and my neck that comes up to the back of my neck, goes to the back of my head. I've not had any surgeries, and that is certainly not normal in any way, shape, or form. All of this started to happen to me after I was shot. And this is why I am medically blacklisted. This is how I am going through my identity theft, my identity changes conveniently from all of these pieces of shit. 100% provable. 100% provable. Legally, medically. But I am medically blacklisted. I cannot get medical help within the province of Ontario now. I either have to go to Quebec, down east, or Manitoba. Compliments of one Dr. Vukadinovic, Dr. Margie V, the one that falsified my medical file to get me medically blacklisted to assure their crimes against me. And I am the end of my bloodline, so congratulations, you bastards. You are guilty of ending a bloodline by doing this to me. And I don't care what anybody says or anybody thinks. This has nothing to do with mental illness. It has nothing to do with drugs. It has nothing to do with hate in any way, shape, or form. This is strictly crimes that have been taking place against me. This is strictly about criminal, corrupt, dirty cops. Very seriously dangerous doctors. The crimes that they are committing with their accomplices. 100%. That's all this is about. I had no association with any O.p.p or anyone else prior to being shot after I spoke of what was taking place, and I don't regret it. I was made to go homeless for a full fucking year and live in Kingston as well. So, because allegedly I was not wanted here in Napanee in case I had to go to the hospital and needed help. That was the excuse that I heard. Whether true or not, I do not know. But that is what I was told. All right here. I get from those tubes, I get what feels like air going through me. I get what feels like liquid going through me all the time. And then I get completely and totally fucking numb. I have been completely and totally right brain lobotomized, and I had no neurological problems, none whatsoever, prior to being shot. I had not even been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 years prior to being shot. I was doing good. I was meditating. I was happy. I was physically and mentally doing good. I was trying to help myself, to better myself, spiritually, in every way. So I had not been to a hospital in approximately 7 to 10 years, and I was even also learning to self-heal as well. And that's not a joke. This is a hate crime. This is a revenge crime. This is a torture crime. This is a slavery crime. This is a brain injury, body mutilation, identity theft, attempted murder crime on me for 5 years of being of constant torture and being fucking blamed for it myself. I don't live alone, so I do not self-harm. Like, what the fuck? But this is what happens when you speak O.p.p crimes, and nobody can be arrested unless I come up with $22,000. But then again, cops need to be arrested, doctors need to be arrested, and so does Jason Van Alstyne, Tyler Lake, Blair Hardy, Bill Wooldridge, Bert the Hitman Hustler, Ray LeBlanc, Hartwicks, and Hearns. I have videos and I have pictures where it shows I look exactly like these pieces of shit, and I am not related to them in any way, shape, or form. Being physically fucking changed through these bastards. How O.p.p are framing their victims? Through this. I have to do videos showing my tattoos. I have to do a went before, now, and during, because of what is happening to me, just for body identification purposes, just in case. O.p.p are well aware, because of the changes that have happened to me. They are well aware of what is going on. They can prove the changes from when I was falsely first arrested and got my pictures, prints, and signatures, what they needed, twice till now. The differences and changes in every way, shape, or form. Spencer Mills shows up at your door. Take that very serious. Any cops ever wave to you, take that as a sign that your bloodline and your life is going to be ended along with your family, and they will get away with it. I hope this is seen, and I hope this is taken serious. My identity theft is fucking done by a bunch of rejects who happen to be O.p.p fall down accomplices. Congratulations to everybody involved, knowing I can't do a fucking thing about what has taken place with me. All because they are jealous, low-life, junkie fucks. Love all, hate none. If they can do this to me, how many others is it being done to? Remember that if this is seen. Families of murdered